Hi, hello REVSOUL here. Welcome you all guys to the new video. Today we have the 2025 KTM 390 Adventure X. So let's just jump onto the video. As you guys can see, the bike has got a orange and a black color paint finish. It's kind of a glossy kind of paint finish. We could feel the premiumness of this KTM 390. The premiumness of this bike feels more than a 390. Anyway, let's start from the front. From the front we can see just a second. Let me turn on the bike. From the front we can see those DRL similar to the Big Daddy 1290 Adventure, and we do find these projector headlamps which gives a pretty good decent through at the night time, and we could also find the LED indicators provided by the KTM. Looking into the rear side, KTM has brought a big change in the rear side, because from the older versions, which is the Adventure 390X, the older versions, they have changed the taillights to much more minimalistic, much more smaller kind of taillights, which I absolutely loved the way KTM designed. And we could also find the LED indicators. And again, jumping into the front, we can see the 43mm USD forks from the WP Apex with a 200mm travel. And since this is an off-roading and a touring bike, the suspension is set on a softer side. And looking into the rear side, we can find the monoshock suspension with a 10-stage preload adjustable, and the suspension feels much more softer, which do provide much comfort while riding. And looking into the seats, we can find that KTM has changed their seats from the split seat setup to a single seat setup, and also reduced the seat height to 825mm. And looking into the engine side, KTM has also changed the engines from the 373cc to the 398cc, which we did find in the KTM Duke 390 Gen 3. Right now the bike can produce like 46 PS powers and 39 Nm of torque, which is absolutely enough for this kind of a single cylinder touring motorcycle, and which can be also taken to off-roads too, because the bike has got a 227mm ground clearance, which is enough and more for the Indian roads. And again, looking into the front, we can find the 320mm disc rotors with the bike brake calipers. Since these are KTM bikes, the the biting of the brakes are much sharper than we expect. In the rear side, we have got the 240mm brake rotors, and also has the bike brake calipers. Anyway, let's hop on the bike and feel the bike's weight. The bike weighs like 182 kilogram, and it didn't bother me for this kind of a single cylinder to have a weight like 182 kilo. And looking the seat height, I have planted foot in the single side, and when the pillion hops, and only when the pillion hops on the bike, I can have completely planted foot on both sides. And we can find the domino kind of mirrors in this 390X. And looking at the handlebars, we have got the switches, the light function is completely integrated in a single switch, the dim, pass, bright, etc. And we can find the hazard switch, the toggling switch for completely toggling around the meter console, the indicator, horn, the ignition switch. It's got a completely basic kind of finish, the basic kind of switches. And when looking into the meter console, you guys have also seen this meter console before. This is the same meter console that we have seen in the KTM Duke 390 Gen 3. And let me just walk you around. This is the gear position indicator, the speedometer, tachometer, the fuel indication meter, the time, the lap time. This meter console is also Bluetooth compatible, so when connecting to the phones, we can attend the calls, play the music. Turn by turn navigation is also available. The trip to average speed, and when getting onto the meter console, we have the complete settings to move around, like the ABS settings. This is a switchable ABS bike. We can completely turn off the rear ABS. And when getting onto the bike settings, the trip 1, trip 2, fuel range, coolant temperature, battery, odometer, clock and date, service, warnings. We do have all the necessary things to move around this meter console. And these three functions can be only activated after connecting to a Bluetooth compatible phone: the turn by turn navigation, the music, and the call functions. And in the last, we have the functions for like the favorite settings, like the riding mode, the quick selector, the connectivity, shift light, clock and date, units, the quick shifter. The bike is also provided with the quick shifter, and has also got a 6-speed gearbox. And in the side, we can find the USB type A for charging our phones and other things too. And looking into the foot pegs, as this bike can be taken to off-roads, we do find these foot pegs with extra grooves for providing a better grip. And other things that I have noticed in the bike is that when turning completely, the handguards just hit the visor, which I found as a design fault. As you guys can see, both side of handlebar, the handguards just hit the visor when turning completely. That's the only thing I have noticed about, the negative drawback I have noticed in this kind of a adventure touring bike. And we can find the side guards in the side, and if you guys are taking for the off-roads, you might need to be removing these side guards, or else these sticks and everything will be holding on to these. And the bike has got a fuel tank of like 14.5 liters and a mileage of like 30 km per liter. Yes, this 398cc engine can produce give like 30 kilometers per liter, which is an absolutely impressive figures for a mileage. And the tank range can be expected to like 420 plus with a 14.5 liters of fuel tank. And looking into the tires, the KTM provided is Apollo dual purpose tires with 100 session tires in the front and a 19-inch wheels, alloy wheels in the front side. In the rear side, they have gone for a 17-inch alloy wheels with the 130 session tires. And since these are dual purpose tires, we can expect the performance both in road and off-roads too. Anyway, let's just hear the exhaust note. The idling sound is somewhat similar to KTM Duke 392. Just a little bit of throttle. Yeah, the exhaust is mounted somewhat similar to the KTM Duke 390 and also sounds good for this kind of an engine. And this kind of a KTM 390 Adventure X costs like 3,79,000 rupees in on-road Kerala. And if you guys want to know the exact price nearest your dealership, just feel free to contact them. And I think I have shown you much of the details of the KTM Adventure 390X. And if you guys still have any doubts, feel free to comment. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, okay, bye.